Hello everybody and welcome to all the new members. It's great to have you alongside us here at the Handicap Snip. We're going to be supporting Owen Livesey and getting into the Olympics. This is a video I'm making for racing on Saturday and I hope you're going to enjoy this kind of material. There will also be PDFs. You could read the PDF that I put in the Chester May meeting about the Chester Cup. We had You're Kidding and Who Dares Wins at 16 to 1 and 10 to 1, and they were second and fourth. Anyway, we move on, and we start with Ascot. Now this Class 3 handicap could have come into my reckoning. I will look at Class 3 handicaps, but there are too many in here, like this one. It's a short price, making seasonal debut, and it's just too tricky. So there's no value to be had because it's hard to assess how they're going to run. Okay, so we'll move on from that. We move on to this race here, and again it's another very tricky race. Desert Encounter's a very nice horse, as is this Calm Top. Firefighting, again, seasonal debut, seasonal debut, seasonal debut. Very hard to know how they're going to run, and we don't want to be guessing, so we move on. Philly's Only Handicap, we don't play in those, and I do like this Sing Your Song, David Simcox again, but I won't be playing. That would be the one for me, Sing Your Song, but it's just too tricky. You've got all these ones coming off the all-weather. It's impossible to know how they're going to run. You've got a stout horse here. It's had a run. Typically a stout horse will improve a bundle for the first run back. Let's have a look what it did. It ran at Salisbury on fast going. Came second. Could improve any amount for that. I wouldn't personally recommend you back it. This would be the one for me. By the way, I have subscribed to this software now, so I can make longer recordings, so I can cover a lot more in the videos. So this one won at Brighton. It was a very good effort, but Brighton to Ascot. Then we got the Victoria Cup. Already, Fastnet Tempest is shortening. It must come on enormously for the run. It was clear with a furlong to go. It was only headed near the finish. I think it'll be very, very hard to beat. There's old horses like this down here, Professor. He used to be good, but he missed a whole year. He missed his whole 6-year-old year. So it's very hard to know. He's probably one for your notebook, to your tracker, to see whether he's going to bounce back to form. He is incredibly well weighted off 86 if he was ever to bounce back. He has got excellent form off marks. Let's have a look. We'll have a look at it now. Might as well while we're here. We'll see what he's done. He's been rated as high as 113. Let's have a look. His best run in a handicap. He ran off 108 in something like the Bunbury Cup. He ran off 108. I think that's the Wokingham, and he finished second 3 years ago. But if we look at his form for the last, you see he finished on October the 15th, 2015, and he didn't reappear again until January 17. So he missed the whole of 2016. So whether they can get him right and he still retains the ability is anyone's guess. If he comes and beats me into second place on Saturday, I'm going to be miffed. But a lot of these are just on marks they can't win from. This George William was right behind Fastnet Tempest, but he's often slowly away and he really needs a mile. He's a strong finisher. 7 furlongs is likely to be against him. Anyway, we'll look at this Novice Stakes next, which is a 2-year-old. I do love 2-year-old races, But of course, it's so hard to know how good they are. I mean, he's a Hannon unraced 2-year-old. Could be anything. No idea. I was particularly impressed by this horse here, Handicap of James Tate's. Funny enough, I do have a contact at the James Tate yard, and they normally tell me if they fancy something, and I haven't heard anything. I shall see tomorrow, and if there is, I'll let you know tomorrow night for Saturday's racing. Okay, this is not, this was excellent form. He was on debut at Leicester, I believe, and he was taking on a horse of Hugo Palmer's, which had run very creditably at Newmarket. This horse that never backed down. That's right. It was 3-1 on. It was backed as if defeat was out of the question. It was only a Class 5 race, mind. But Hadaf really pushed this horse all the way. It's never backed down. And unable to quicken near the finish. Only beating a neck, and they pulled 2.5 lengths clear from the third and another 3.25 lengths clear of the fourth. And it was running an excellent time, and Hadaf can only improve. If he were to be 4 or 5-1, I wouldn't hesitate having a small bet, 1 point or 2 points. It depends how strongly fancied the Mark Johnson horse is, and the Charlie Appleby horse, and the Andrew Balding horse, and the Hanning horse. Could get a good price. And then there's a Class 4 handicap, which I'm not going to look at. Okay, so I'll have a look at some of the other cards right now. And here we go at Lingfield, where they have the Oaks trial for the fillies listed race, and Ralph Beckett, as usual, has got one in here. That could well be a massive improver. And Gosden has got one in here. Again, could be a massive improver. But there's no doubt for me that the one that should win is this Pocket Full of Dreams. Well, Aidan O'Brien. I think it was a very good run in a listed race. And it's the horse will have needed them. They mainly need their run, especially the fillies. Need their run. Pushed clear. It was 2 lengths in the lead entering the final furlong and got headed right on the line by Jim Bolger and Kevin Manning. And I think Donica O'Brien, maybe took it a little bit easy. I think that's the one. If they're saying 7-4, you could have a small bet on that. And then we come into the Derby trial, and this is very, 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 very tricky again. And again, it could be O'Brien with Ryan Moore, but this is a lot tighter. Glencadam Glory, that could be the one. We'll have to see the prices. Tartini as well. That could have, Tartini, I like that horse very much. And the extra distance, up to nearly 1.5 miles, could see him in a good light. Then we have a Class 6 handicap, a fillies Group 3. Now this was very interesting. I did look at this, and this Kemar is about 8-13, and it's an absolute standout. It's won a couple of Grade 1s. Very difficult to oppose that. You've really got to look at the ratings here. It stands out like a sore thumb. So that'll be interesting to watch to see if that can finish the job off. Class 3-year-old owned Class 3 handicap. I will look at that in more detail on Friday. But again, we've got the problem of horses coming off the all-weather. When they've all been running on the turf, and I've got excellent form lines that I can easily analyse and work out who's well in and who isn't, then we'll have more betting opportunities. But we're still quite early in the season, and horses have still been running on all weather, and I just really don't like it. Okay, and then there's a Class 4 handicap and a maiden fillies, where you know, you might think that Hannon, Haggis and Gosden are the three to look at in that race. We'll go and have a look at one of the other meetings. Here we go. We're over at Haydock now on Saturday. I'm not going to be looking at this jumps race, this hurdle. This is class 4. I probably won't bother with that. And then there's the Swinton. No doubt there's all kinds of tips going around for it. I haven't got an opinion really. Have to see. There's not final decks yet, you see. So then we've got this race here, and we've got all of these horses like So Beloved, older horses, 6-year-olds, 7-year-old. Very hard to call this race. I do really like Absolutely So. I love the horse. 7 furlongs is perfect. And Balding has already had winners. You know, they're going really well. So I would not put it past him from winning. We'll have a look and see what the prices are on Friday. Then there's an interesting conditions race here. And depending on the going, it's wide open. Then there's a handicap chase. I might have a little look at that. Not really my thing. And then a 3-year-olds only handicap and another handicap chase. So there's probably not a lot there. Not for me anyway. So the race for me is the Victoria Cup, because you've got a standout horse who is so well weighted it's ridiculous. He can only improve enormously for the run. And as I said, the other one that I like, the Hannon horse, he'd already had a run, so, and it was fit, whereas Fastnet Tempest was making his seasonal debut, and he must come on for the run, and you know, I think he's going to blow them away. I have had a look at Leopardstown and the other meetings, and nothing stood out. But here we are at Nottingham, and there's a nice little fillies listed race here over 6 furlongs. And there's a horse I like here, Lady Macapa. She's an improver. Clive Cox's horse is running really well. She ran at Newbury in a hot race and was not beaten far, and I think she can carry on improving, and 6 furlongs is absolutely ideal. They're definitely looking to get in the frame, that's why they're running it, and fast ground holds no terror. It's 1 over 6 furlongs, and I'm sure it's trying for its life. We might get a nice price about that against some of these other ones. There's a lot in here that are, you know, just not that good. So we should definitely have a look at that. And there's nothing else at Nottingham for us to go at. So there we go, guys. I'm really hopeful that we're going to kick-start the flat season with Fastnet Tempest absolutely trotting up, and then running in, you know, bigger handicaps of higher marks. Might even end up in something like the Hunt Cup or something like that. Okay, that's the video for today, and I will get that up on the website and in the Saturday racing preview section, and then I will be, if there's any more bets, I will be sending them out on Friday.